6 tackles, a sack. Can you just evaluate your individual performance from tonight?
I don't really think individually wise because it's a team game. I couldn't make the plays I did without my teammates doing their assignments and then me happening to be at the right place at the right time.
A win like this, you guys are moving towards the end of the season. You guys are still in the thick of the Mountain West, race for the title at the end of the year. As a team, what does a win like this do for you guys?
It gives us a lot of momentum. We take it day by day and then round by round. So of course, I was round 2 right there. We're going to keep thriving for round 3.
Growing up, did you envision yourself playing at Valley Children's Stadium?
It was a dream of mine, of course, to play at Valley Children's Stadium. I just tell my parents, talk to them, going to the games as a young kid. I just told them, it'd be so amazing to run down the ramp, watching these big old linemen pad and pad and get an opportunity to play. It's phenomenal. It's amazing.
Guys, can you talk about the brand of football you guys have played 4 quarters today and the 4 quarters at Boise and how much you guys are enjoying it?
Just hard-nosed football, 11 halves to the ball, offense or defense, Run game's amazing. Of course, defensively, we're stopping that run game, just expanding our tool bag from there.
What do you feel worked specifically today for you guys as a defense?
Definitely the run game helped a lot. Passing wise, we're getting better every day, but I think run game wise, we did phenomenal, especially in the offense. Just keep running the ball.
Thank you.
Tytus, when you see a game like this start with the weather it has, do you lick your chops as a defender, knowing it's going to be kind of a messy game for the offensive set?
Of course, because when it's raining, you think, no, they're not throwing the ball anymore. It's going to be a run game. So I told my coach, I told the trainer, I was like, hey, I don't need the gloves. I'm just going to take my fingers because, that's just who I am. I don't want the ball slipping. I don't want to slip off blocks or none of that. I just want to play downhill. So of course, this weather was easy to play through.
When you go through a game like this and feel the momentum of it, and they have the big play setting up the field goal, but as it just progresses and progresses, and they feel more frustrated, you feel it from that side when you know you're frustrating an offense like that.
Oh yeah, you can tell they're getting slightly annoyed, and then once you stop their big plays, of course, the game plan starts going out the window, and they just start trying to muster up some type of scheme, and then you can see it on the defensive side. You can see the quarterback getting rushed, and running backs are starting to complain to the linemen about blocking assignments and everything like that. So you can see, you feel for sure.
For sure.
It's just so weird. I'm used to talking to you after a Clovis West game. It's so cool to see how you've grown yourself into a Bulldog linebacker, making plays, leading the team in tackles. But what keeps you grounded? What keeps you humble to the core despite the success that you're already seeing in your first season as a player here?
Definitely, it's not just it's not an individual game. I don't see myself better than anybody on the field. I'm just that one guy out of a 10-man on defense. I just want to do my part and execute it, and then see success for our defense.
How much did learning from Khajavi and Jaden help you get to where you're at now?
It helped a lot. They even them being starters, they still helped me and helped me shape be the linebacker I am today. They just said, oh, you're second, sitting third string, just do you. They helped me, so it helps a lot.
And when you heard that you'd have to fill in to start when Khajavi goes down for an extended period of time, what was the first thing you thought of, if you can think back to that?
Of course, when KT went down, it was very sad, because he's a heck of a player. It's hard to fill someone's shoes like that. But of course, I had the next man up mentality. Of course, opportunity isn't kind. So I just got to step up and fill those shoes.
And last question for me, I've seen you get a lot of sacks at Clovis West. I don't know if you have the record there or something, but to get that first one at Fresno State, I saw you were emotional. You were super amped up. Did you know that was your first sack?
Yes, I did know it was my first sack. I was just mind blown at the fact that I got the guy down. You start to move, and now I started thinking, hey, it's slippery floor, but when my adrenaline kicked in, I just played ball, and then that sack happened. It was amazing.
And real quick, since you mentioned it, what's it like playing in the rain like that? It's just downpour, constant, not going away for the first half. What was that like being there on the field?
It's amazing, of course. Mother Nature didn't bless us with beautiful weather, but it doesn't matter because this is Bulldog football. We're going to play whether it's snowing, raining, sunny, whatever, So just knowing that your game plan has to change up, of course, that we know that they're going to run the ball a lot more. got to clean your cleats off. You know, you can't just be running side to side or it's gonna slip. So that's definitely one.
Thanks.
When you woke up or you looked at the weather forecast and you saw that it was going to be raining, was it kind of like, yeah, you
Yeah.
know, as a defensive guy?
Definitely was. I was like, oh yeah, you know, it's gonna be a heavy running game. Our special teams coach, he's like, told us, he's like, I don't care if I see Noah's Ark going down the ramp. You know, like, we're gonna play some Bulldog football. And I was like, that fired me up. I was like, yeah, this is gonna be a great game.
Yeah, I think the first 2 tackles of the game you had, right? You were kind of filling the some gaps there. Is there something to kind of a defense as a whole, maybe as an individual as well, kind of getting into a rhythm defensively? You know, we talk about it offensively all the time.
Definitely getting a rhythm as a whole. You know, like if one person steps up, that one person has to bring up the rest with them. You know, that one person can't play the best, and then that one play below, and just relying on him. You know, like even if like I played good or played bad, you know, I know that JP, Cameron Proctor, AZ, all of them are gonna help lift me up to play even match their pace.
It's kind of crazy. This is the second straight game, Tytus, where you guys have held an opponent under 200 total yards. When I say that, what do you think of it? What's your reaction?
It's insane to me. I didn't even look at the scoreboard really until towards the end of the game. I was like, oh, we did pretty good, huh? It was definitely a good feeling because all the blood, sweat, and tears you put throughout practice, walkthroughs, it all meant something at the end.
And then finally, just what does it say about this defense, right? That, you know, Khajavi goes down, you step in, and it seems like it kind of doesn't miss a beat. You know, Khajavi's a great player, obviously making a lot of plays. Seems like there's a lot of different guys who can make plays on this defense.
Yeah, of course, and no one goes into the game thinking that, like, honestly, no one's gonna really go in the game thinking it's gonna be the last. You know, no one expects that, and we always have Coach Ents took it into us talking about like young guys are gonna get their opportunity. You don't know when or how, but they're gonna get the opportunity, so you should always be prepared.
Who said the nose arc thing real quick?
Coach Baxter.
Okay. Yeah, right here. There's been several times where the season where the defense has come up big, you know, even when the offense is kind of taking a little bit longer to get going. Do you guys feel like a sense of urgency in those moments, and how difficult is it to just keep, you know, coming up big again and again?
You know, not at all. We trust our offense, and we know what they're capable of and what they can do in pressure situations or not. You know, so we just go out and be the same defense we always been, and just, of course, try to get the ball back, give it to the offense.
Sweet, thanks, Titus.